Hello everyone, and welcome back to my tournament run. Game number 2 of the semifinals versus atkpwr Gaming. And I'm up 1-0 after a really nice clutch game on Kostritsa, where my air force and my artillery plus good light tank pushes got me the W. But that's not the way on victory on Slutskvest, which is the map we are on game number 2. And the way we ended up here is an interesting one. And the matchup we got is as well. So let's have a look at how we ended up here. And the first reason is the rest of the maps weren't that great. So we ended up on Slutskvest as I am player 1. So atkpwr decided the map basically between the last two picks. And the last two picks open were Slutskvest or Cell, and he banned Cell. So we ended up on Slutskvest. atkpwr wanted to play an open map. So my idea was then, okay, let's go with big boys. And atkpwr also had the first division bans, that he banned 21st and 16th Panzer, so it was like, okay, no King Tiger big boys. So I guess we are down to IS-2 big boys. The best IS-2 is the 1944 model, so let's try to save us a division with 1944s, and also try to ban all the other 1944 divisions. And there's only 3 of those. There is the 3rd Guards Tank Corps, there's the 84th, and there is the 97th. 97th got also banned by atkpwr. So with my last bans, I banned the 84th, I banned the 20th Panzer Grenadier and 78th, because nashorns and elephants can penetrate our IS-2s. And I banned the 17th because of the group. So we ended up with me able to pick 3rd Guards Tank Corps, and him not having a IS-2 1944 or a big tank division open. But he picked a division that is pretty interesting as well, because he picked Verteidigungsbereich Toulon, which has some interesting big anti-tank guns in the form of the 110mm anti-air pieces in the Flak 38, and also some Flak 43s. So it has some tools that can deal with my IS-2s. And he picked Balanced, and I knew I didn't want to play Maverick on Slutskvest. So I thought, okay, he wants to play the long game. We played a really long game. So my counter pick in income was Juggernaut. And this is how we ended up here on Slutskvest, with Juggernaut versus 3rd Guards. Juggernaut 3rd Guards Tank Corps versus Balanced Verteidigungsbereich Toulon. And the 3rd Guards Tank Corps is a division that was obviously the division in Steel Division for a long while, as we are about to start here. PTRS rushing forward, having to run into the enemy's tractions, one of the reasons why Toulon is a division that gets picked quite regularly. These tractions are the fastest vehicle in the game, and you get the Italian pack on it, and we're having to get at least some space here as well, was the idea. Sherman's coming around as well. No IS-2 from the right out start, but they will come up relatively early on, as there's no tanks whatsoever on the other side. Flak 41 already coming in, down in the south and up in the center here. And yeah, 3rd Guards Tank Corps got nerfed over the years as Shermans got nerfed. Then they got a lot of slots nerfs. Their infantry is still good, but Soviet infantry is not as OP as it was back in the day either, as they don't have as many SVTs anymore. So it's gone down, but it still has the big boys, and that's the reason why I picked it. The one thing I think it's lacking a bit is a 2000 meter HE tool, which, for example, 19th Tank Corps would offer you, like SU-152 or something like that. So that's the one weakness that I would say is relatively big, especially in a matchup like that where you have to deal with anti-tank guns. But we still have the big boys, and we will bring in artillery to try to deal with the Flak 41s and then on the Flak 38s, and then try to overwhelm them later on. Meanwhile, infantry meeting up in the north as well. Maros and Kriegsmarine infantry coming up here. Maro really strong on the 150 meter, has a lot of Berettas, so it's quite scary infantry. Over here, MCHA and SU-85 trying to break through. Guardia DP versus Kriegsmarine Infantry should win on the long distance as well. But the MG42 is helping out from a rear, which is annoying. So 13-11 is currently on for us. But game obviously just started. SU-76 is coming in for some artillery. Artillerist in the rear to give some radio. MG42 under fire. And a lot of Kriegsmarine infantry in here. PTRS trying to move forward. PTRS over here didn't got a snipe, now tried to move around. But Scharfschützen are a recon unit. And they are on the field over here. A lot of infantry and long range anti-tank to hold the road for our opponent. A couple of Guardias and a couple of Ognomachikis for us. Trying to hold out there. And the sniper spots the PTRS for the Flak 41. So the Flak 41 will kill it off. And so we won't get a sneak around. IG-33. So as you can see, a lot of long range support guns. No long range tanks really. Only Stugs. Nothing with 2000 meter range in that regard. So they are somewhat open to artillery barrages. But our artillery also not the best. Quite the strongest. We have some radio artillery, but all in smaller scale. Like SU-76s sadly are rather small and also super inaccurate if you don't have radio, which is one of their weaknesses. But we kind of want them because Toulon also has artillery that can be nasty, and we want some of our own artillery that can dodge that and can run away from that and then counter battery. So that's why we're using the SU-76s here. Leader coming in from the rear. Ognomachiki versus Kriegsmarine Pioneers. Kriegsmarine Pioneers are forced to retreat here for now, but they're dangerous. The Panzerschreck can be really brutal to our MCHAs. Guardia trying to help out. Kriegsmarine Infantry trying to move forward. Currently, Guardia doing a pretty good job there. Another leader coming in to help out ZSU, to help out our AA. That's the Yak 7B is trying to hunt down these annoying BF-109s. Down here. MCHA maybe could have come around the corner, helped a bit more. Yeah, inactive there. Trying to push in here would have been good at this stage, but I'm missing out on that. Not quite having the micro. I think I was pretty busy around here at this stage, trying to not let the infantry push onto this flag. But Mauro and Kriegsmarine infantry are coming in, and I don't have too much infantry left here up in the north. Kriegsmarine Pioneer with their Panzerschreck also get my half track, so no more fire support from that for my units up there, which is the reason I have 1311. Flak 41 also obviously will push back my Yak 7B. That comes around. Guardias trying to kill off the 47mm. Doing a good job there. SU-76 trying to hit the Flak 41 and the IG-33. Another ZSU is over here to help out with the AA. So 2 ZSU M15s on this battlefield. And Mauros moving forward. And Mauros 12-man Beretta squadrons here with 2-star veterancy are some of the strongest CQC units in the game. And I don't have anything to really counter them, which is a problem. Nothing to face them that can put the equal damage out there. So I have to deal with them differently. Artillery, bombs, or just ignoring are basically the options there. Note my SU-76s try to hit something. And the first IS-2 comes around. We'll try to force its way over the open here. Flak 41, not as dangerous as you would expect on the long ranges. It has nearly no penetration chance against an IS-2 on 2000 meter range, as its AP shell drops off relatively hard. So I'm not too afraid of this one. I'm also not too afraid of any of these. So I thought, okay, might as well bring out the IS-2 and try to push through the open here. Flak 41 over here, holding the line though. Ognomachiki getting hit, trying to come in here. But Maros and Kriegsmarine Infantry are around. 12-12 at the moment. Artillery trying to help out over here right now. Now engaging down in the south again. IS-2 coming up. Slowly but surely. That's the Kriegsmarine Infantry versus Guardia matchup. Down here is still like a pretty even fight, I would say. Artillery not quite on target on the Fox 36 here, on the Assist 3 gun, I think it is. I'm not quite sure. Well, it's the Flak 41 got a line of sight on my Su-85. Not great. Not great at all. And I'm not reacting whatsoever, as you can see. Which is a pretty bad idea. I kind of want to react to something like that. So the Su-85 goes down. Big miss micro by me at that stage. Yeah, wasn't the most... No, I wasn't the fastest in this game when it came to micro reactions. IS-2 now will try to hit the Flak 41. Flak 41 pinned down beforehand, but IS-2 got bogged down with hitting stuff down here. Su-76 is good at pinning down the IG-33, and that's why I got them. Like, I want to pin stuff down, and then I want to follow it up with the IS-2 against all the big tanks. Now, first couple of artillery pieces coming in. All the big guns, all the Flak 38s, Flak 41s. I want to pin down like that, and then bring up the IS-2 and hit them like this. IS-2 I have at the moment is an IS-2 1943, the only one in the deck, the leader one. So this one isn't quite as heavily armored as the other ones. The 1944 with the 180mm frontal armor are even better against stuff like the Flak 41. Flak 41 now engaging the IS-2, but as I said, directly on 2000 meter, it has next to no penetration, and as it is also stressed out, it has next to no accuracy either. So my IS-2 should easily handle it. As you can see, one shell of the IS-2 also dealing a lot of damage there, killing off 3 people at once. Now the IL-2 coming in, trying to kill it off. Commander on the side of attack power. So both sides obviously want to play the long game. Flak 41 now pinned down, got killed off by the IL-2. So good victory there for me. But up in the north, I'm in trouble. Got beaten out here, and the units also coming around up around here to try to push me out of there, which I most likely won't be able to prevent with 2 infantry units on their own. So either I need to send out reinforcements there, or I need to commit more around here and try to get some flags in the long run here. Because if this flag falls, it's a 13-11 for attack power. And retaking this also won't be easy. Su-76 will try to help out. Enemy artillery now comes in on my Su-76s over here. So I tried to get them out there. It shouldn't be too hard. As I said, that's the reason I've got them. IS-2 over here hits the Kriegsmarine infantry. And we are now in B phase. Flak 36, 37mm coming in. IS-2 continues to fire on units. MCHA really should have helped out more. Currently, infantry all on my side went down. 85mm APs coming in for me now. That's the SIS-3 and the MCHA tried to help out around here. MCHA hitting the MG42. Should be able to get the kill eventually. Maro's still around. Second Maro unit up there as well now. But the 1311 is now on for attack power as my northern units get pushed back hard. And BF-109 fighter bomber spam is out. Yak 7 tries to chase one down. But the BF-109 G6R1 is a rather agile plane. Turns around on a dime. And the Yak 7 sadly not the fastest fighter. And against all that big AA, can't chase too deep. So gets fall back After the BF-109s got the bombing run through. 85mm coming up. Ready to unload. Emcha retreating. Ogmachiki sitting in the forest. Artillerist could move further forward and maybe spot something. We will see. Whilst the first 105mm AA piece comes onto the battlefield. 2 cards of these in that deck, so there will be quite a couple that I will have to deal with if I want to push the enemy over with my big boy IS-2s in the long run. Also enemy artillery around here, the 105mm, so now some of my Su-76s will try to counter battery. Maxime forced to push back and goes down. To the backer, supply truck coming up. 1311 here, 4 attack power. And my center is collapsing thanks to the Maxime falling. Flak 41 holding down the line. Flak 41 also now hitting the Emcha. Emcha trying to disengage. Will be able to do so in this scenario. So at least will survive for another time. But got penetrated once. Is lower on hit points and there's still a lot of infantry and stuff in my way down here. IS-2 currently not active enough. Could be better. A piece is around. ZSU is around to prevent this BF-109 from hitting me. So won't hit me this time. Yak 7 comes in too late again though. Won't be able to chase once more. The BF-109 really agile. ZSU tries its best to get the kill. As you can see, a single ZSU with 1 sergeancy gets close to getting the kill there, but not quite. And the 1410 is on. Artillery pieces tried now to hit my ZSU. And Su-76 tried its best to counter battery here, but Soviet artillery is just so inaccurate. It's kinda annoying. Not gonna lie. Like other artillery, quite a bit more. As even if they hit, they don't deal the most damage, and if they are firing with counter battery without, you need to get some lucky shots eventually. You need to have a lot of rounds going the enemy ways. I mean, you get a lot of rounds flying the enemy's ways as well, but with the inaccuracy they got, you have to be lucky, as if they don't hit, they also don't do any stress damage, which is really my one big issue with the Soviet 76mm artillery pieces. Meanwhile, it's the Perry over here, trying to engage, but Brandenburgers are a tough nut to crack. Hemchak coming around over here, trying to help out. A lot of infantry, 4 attack power in there. Some bigger artillery there would be helpful, some bombers, but AA of the opponent is strong. So Perry tried to move in there, but Maros did push them back quite hard. Maros dealing a lot of damage. P2 bombers trying to come in. Flak 41 is around. P2s come around, get through. One of the other reasons why this division is so strong. P2s, really reliable bombers, but G6R6 comes around on the other side. Tries to hunt down my IL-2. Yak 7 trying to hunt down the BF-109, but is too slow again. So the BF-109 will get out. P2 gets pushed back. At least a couple of good bombing runs, a couple of good hits come in here. Artillery with the counter battery did get some hits, but nothing super major. ZSU under fire over here. Maro with 12 men still alive in the rear. Kriegsmarine in the Bootsbesatzung coming up as well. 1311 still. IS-2 is completely idle. Not my best usage of an IS-2 ever. I'm not gonna lie. As we are here in B-phase. So big boy tonks are around. And we are closing in on C-phase actually relatively fast. And that's the reason why I picked Juggernaut. Like B-phase, yeah, we have 115 points less there, but 115 points, I mean, it's one artillery, big AT gun, but we get 20 points more per minute in C-phase. So we're already 50 points ahead at 30-minute mark, and then we are 250 points ahead at the 40-minute mark, and then we are 450 points ahead at the end of the game. So I would say that's more worthwhile, and also putting the enemy under pressure that they need to push on early on, though Tech Power achieved that. Had us on the tick here. Goes on to the advantage. Obviously, Juggernaut versus balanced game supposed to go long, because both sides don't quite get the forces to easily overwhelm the enemy early on. P2 bombers here now, being called in to try to hit the Flak 38, whilst the IS-2 is coming in from the ground. So that the Flak is hitting the P2 and not hitting my IS-2, so that the IS-2 can then chase down the Flak 38. That was the idea here, using artillery, air and IS-2s to overwhelm the big anti-tank guns and AA pieces of my opponent. Flak 38 doesn't get hit by the IS-2 though. IS-2 could have been better used than a tag move here as well. Should have just moved up here and then shoot from stationary positioning. We'll get another good shot off here now. Oh no, we'll hit the Kriegsmarine, not the Flak 38. Big misusage here. Yeah, I used attack order instead of move order. So that was a mistake. Su-76 is dodging the enemy counter battery here. But I lost the supply truck, I think. Or no, the supply truck moved up to the north. IS-2 now aiming again. Su-76 is still under fire. Like 38 now retaliating. Good hit though by the IS-2. Tech power disengaging once more. HE shells out of for the IS-2 now though, as it only brings around 16, so needs to reload there. More Su-76s coming around. Meanwhile in the north, Stuk goes down to the Su-85s. Something to try to push on this has been reestablished. Studebaker coming up. Issue in my deck. For a Juggernaut deck, I only have one card of supply in B. I have no artillery pieces that get towed by supply trucks. I have no sea-phase supply card. So my artillery has to be somewhat efficient, and that's not the strength of Su-76s. So I might run out of these eventually, and I also need to reload the IS-2s obviously. So I need to be somewhat efficient there. Focke-Wulf trying to come around, not quite able to do so though. Focke-Wulf not quite able to get the rockets off. AA trying to hit the Focke-Wulf. 13-11 for attack power continues, but we are bringing up more forces now for the south. And Sea-Phase is about to arrive in 10 seconds. And then at the 21-minute mark, I get the first time 175 points. My counter battery continues to fire onto attack power's artillery setup in the rear. IS-2 getting reloaded. Enemy still tries to take out my AA. Says UM-15 still under fire here. But my SUs are in counter battery mode. IS-2 is reloaded. Can come around again. Trying to hit the Flak 38. And now I tried to overwhelm the Flak 38 with P2s. Yak 7B trying to come in as an escort. But at this stage, Flak Zwillings have been made part of the defense, and 2-star veterans all on these 2 AA pieces meant that only one of my P2s got through, and my Yak 7 also got pushed back, couldn't protect the P2. 2 of my P2s go down over here, and the next one goes down over here, and this is absolute disaster. Also, I come in too late with my IS-2. I was absolutely wrong on my timing here, on basically everything, so I don't get any of the AA pieces, and I lose all my bombers, and this is absolute pain. Like, this was a super pivotal moment in this game, as that was supposed to win me the game, and it didn't. Instead, I lost all my push power here. Or, like, it was not supposed to win me the game, but it was supposed to, like, rip a hole into the enemy's defenses that I then could send my IS-2s through and then have the enemy have too little reinforcements to defend against it. But the Zwillings 37mm as an extra AA piece down here, I didn't expect. Like, I didn't show too many airplanes so far. I did only show one P2, one IL2, and a fighter. So didn't expect that. And the Pack 43 here out already as well. The amount of forces that are here, I totally underestimated. I thought there would have been more investment into the north. I thought that's what our attack power wanted to beat me. But he invested a lot down here. And I got caught on the wrong foot. Lost my breakthrough power there. SU-76s now have to make up for it. But as I said, artillery not the most in this deck. So trouble is brewing. And now the IS-2 also gets hit by the Pack 43. Pack 43 obviously super dangerous here against us. Is still bouncing, but we also sadly don't get the best hits on the Pack 43. Neither with the SUs just yet. Now we finally do get the pin down. IS-2 tries to finish it off with another shot. Comes around. But once more not hitting great, though the Su-76 finally does the job. Counter battery from the side of attack power. But the P2s are really hard to replace, and attack power has us on the tick. So that was quite crucial, as the IS-2 really came in at the wrong time. If the IS-2 at least would have killed off the Flak 38 easily at that moment, and then maybe pushed through a bit, it would have been good, but it didn't. Now we have Su-76s that we can't really reload. That are coming around. Enemy artillery also finally ripped apart our ZSU. Trying to get in here with an Automachiki, but Flak 38 plus Maros are just too hard to overcome there. And also attack power now has the time to set up more and more of the AA pieces. And solidify the advantage he got. Also has more artillery pieces coming up, reinforcements coming in there. Yak 7 trying to come around, but I'm just too slow with my planes here to ever hunt down this BF-109s. Get close to the front line. Unless attack power is staying around. That was a mistake. So we at least getting one BF-109. Big mistake there by attack power. But not quite big enough yet to get us equal on the footing again. Wolf trying to come around. Supply truck going over to the Su-76s. IS-2 trying to push in once more. Getting a shot off onto the Flak 38. Disengaging again. But the Flak 38 can retaliate. So good hit there. Su-76 is now trying to hit the Flak 38 so that the IS-2 can finish it off. But this is a long game now. Like, we have to play the long game down here and we have to keep our IS-2s alive. I'm trying to move in as well. As I said, my IS-2 down here basically did too little throughout the game so far. Artillery pieces coming in. Flak 38. Engaging onto my 85mm AA piece. Enemy artillery is set up in the rear. Supply trucks coming in for it. Meanwhile, Maros moving forward, and as you can see, yeah, the Maros just absolutely evaporate any infantry unit running into them. And even stationary infantry just gets evaporated. Anything that moves in the open is just basically instant death. Yeah, I tried again here, but that's kind of stupid. I mean, I know about the flux filling by now. And I still try it, and I lose more planes here. Not a great idea at all. Not a great idea at all. Not... Like, with airplanes in such a scenario... Enemy 10v10 player can tell you need critical mass, and I don't. I'm not even close to critical math with 2 planes there in that stage. Yak 7 now coming in as well. As you can see, I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of like, we played this game at 3 AM my time, and I also just at this stage just didn't know what to do anymore. I'm not the best player with IS-2 divisions, maybe. But I also just, like, too long is a tough nut to crack, and I had my ideas, and then after that loss of the P2s, I was just completely off. Now running an IS-2 into a Flak 38 without any support, no artillery firing at it whatsoever. Now an IS-2 trying to come in here, not the sweetest spot either for it. Flak 38 penetrating the IS-2 here, IS-2 disengaging, but Like, no movement it has been achieved down here whatsoever. All the infantry is still here. Flak Zwilling are still in the rear as well. Like, if I wanted to have used my bombers there, I should have brought artillery fire onto this first. 27 minutes, 13-11 is taking us slowly but surely down. More infantry coming in. But these are the last 2 supply trucks in my deck. So that's a bad thing as well. Flak 38 goes down. So the IS-2 can come maybe a bit forward again. Pak 40 is around here. There should be more Pak 43 in the deck as well. Flak 38s, more of those coming in too. So 14-10 for attack power. Autobachiki is trying to come in here. I will run them into the Mauros again. Really not found a solution for these either. Trying to keep up with the tools that attack power is throwing my way. Pak 40. Hitting the IS-2. IS-2 trying to retaliate. Not super successful just yet. Well, it's the 44 model. It's trying to hit the Kriegsmarine. And yeah. Now trying to hit the AA, but I lost nearly, like I lost more than half of my planes that I could bring of the bombers. Like I only have 2 cards of P2s and 2 cards, 6. Yeah, I think I have 6 P2s. I lost 4 of them already, so only 2 left. And I have 3 IL2s, I think, and I already lost 1 of as well. So even if I could afford buying them, I would only be able to bring in 4 more planes. And the AA is still massive, still more coming up. So that won't be easy. Flak Zwilling needs to go down for that. The Commandant, really good investment here. This time, like that was one of the main issues of attack power in game number 1. His AA was too low on veterancy. He tried to beat me back with ZSUs without veterancy, and that's just not how AA works in this game. You can't kill off planes with AA that doesn't have any veterancy. Pak 43 also now gets our first IS-2 killed. Next IS-2 is caught out in the open. BF-109 is trying to come in. Not quite making it. AA is good enough. But also my AA currently doesn't have veterancy. Leader is too far back. Sherman tries to get in the north, but there's the Kriegsmarine Pioneers in here with the Panzerschreck that will be able to deal with that if necessary. Down in the south here, Maxims and stuff try to hold on from the rear, but artillery park of my opponent is still pretty good. I tried to counter battery, but I'm running low on supplies here. I don't have much supply here. This supply truck nearly empty. This supply truck already on 0. So I can't keep that up for a long run. If I could keep these Su-76s, like at this, like 10 minutes in, I realized I had 1 supply card too little in this deck already, as I knew I would have to keep up the battery constantly. As you can see, I started to kill off enemy artillery pieces. If I could constantly fire now for the next couple of minutes, like if I could like keep 10 Su-76 fire constantly on his AA pieces, counter battery constantly, and then maybe run over with like 3 IS-2s and try to run it down, then this could maybe work out, but I don't have the supply for that. And obviously a follow-up bombing run would be nice as well, which I don't have. And the defensive position here is still pretty entrenched for our player in blue. Attack power has the advantage in points by far now, so I would need to come back within the next 5 minutes and start to take down, or would have to break him heavily, like completely in the late game. Focke-Wulf here coming in, trying to hit the Amcha, will do so, but luckily not good enough as the ZSU is forcing it back. But as you can see, my ZSU's M15s also not having enough veterancy to be able to deal with these, as ZSUs come with bad like availability curves for that, so you want to use them with leaders next by, or like a commandant, like the commander is even better. P2 here coming around, will try to kill the Mauro, won't be able to do so, not perfect on target. Mauro only pinned down, not killed off, and I even pinned down my own Saperis there, so I can't even follow it up and surrender, which is kinda annoying. IS-2 moving up over here. On the other side, Kriegsmarine infantry coming in. Emcha trying to beat their enemy back over here. S2 over here slowly moving forward. But there's another Flak 38 in the rear here. Artillery keeps on batterying my AAPs here. Su-76 trying to hit the Flak 38. Emcha gets hit by the Flak 43. And supply is running low. Supply over here already empty. Emcha goes down. 1410 4 attack power continues. And another IS-2 comes in the south. 3 IS-2s on the battlefield. As I said, if I could keep up the artillery barrage for the rest of the game, I might have a chance with these IS-2s to achieve breakthrough if I can pin down the enemy at the tank gun positions. That's really the weakness of Toulon. If you can catch them in an artillery fire barrage and then run them over, they don't have the flexibility to disengage out of that. They can't take like reposition easily. Once they have entrenched, they are where they are, so you know where they are and you can hit them there. But I don't have the artillery anymore, and I decided to surrender here, cause yeah, I realized not gonna make it. Kills if we go to there, like attack power had us nearly beaten by 1,000 points at this stage. The planes really were a big differentiator. Our infantry was running low as we ran too many of them into Maros. And I think at this moment an IS-2 also died in the north. So I was down in that regard as well. So I decided, let's put it into game number 3. Because this was not it. And I needed to sleep at that night. Because it was 4 AM or so. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's play this tomorrow. Finish it off. Obviously, with American and European time zones, not always easy to find a good time. But I was like, yeah, I got completely outplayed here. Attack power, picked a good division to counter my IS-2s. And third is really not the division to handle artillery, handle the enemy well. Its artillery guns just don't have the oomph. Like, you have the Su-76s, which can pin down enemy in the front line thanks to radio, and which can also do some counter battery pinning, but they don't do the killing as well as you want it to be against something like Toulon. And you also lack the 2000 meter reach support. As I said, the better pick here, I was the first pick for Slutsk West. I think the better all-round pick actually, which sounds kind of crazy, but it's only for this map, would have been 19th Tank Corps if I would then have just banned as my last, like, instead of trying to get the last 1944 IS-2s, I should have just banned all of the IS-2 divisions. But that's hindsight, and also obviously still would have had to win there. So attack power bested me in this one, showing that we are somewhat equal. But I was still optimistic that if I could get a map that is okay for me, as Slutsk West also is really not my terrain, and I could get a division that I'm more familiar with maybe than 3rd Guards Tank Corps, as this is a division that most of us haven't played since 2020, to be honest, because it has fallen out of flavor quite a bit. Like the fall from grace for this division has been rough. Then I was optimistic I could have a better shot, but it wouldn't be easy. It wouldn't be easy at all. And if attack power plays as well as in this game, I might go down here. So you all will see how that story pans out in the next video of this series. Attack power and me will have to go to game number 3. So I hope to see you all there. If you don't want to miss it, consider clicking that subscribe down below. And I see you all in the next one.